And welcome everybody. Hello again and welcome back to another episode of the Elendor Chronicles, brought to you by the Component Cast. Before we get on with tonight's episode, of course we have a few things we need to cover. First of all, if you like the broadcast, please do so on whatever social media platform you see us. Please give us a share, a like, a comment if you're on YouTube. Hello YouTube audience, we do see you. And if you see any of our content, whether that would be our shorts, our live streams, just get involved, get engaged. It's the best way to help us grow. However, if you do have the capacity to do so and want to help us out monetarily, you can through two ways: either becoming one of our wonderful Twitch subs and joining us in our Twitch chat, or by joining us on Patreon. Patreon gives us the biggest slice of the pie and helps us create more shows like this one. Now, without further ado, let's get on with tonight's episode, shall we? And we're back. So, last time on the Elendor Chronicles, the culmination of a divergence in the party had begun. Our party, who are now heading face first towards the apocalypse and being ready to swing swords against it, found themselves at a juncture. The rigorous research and questions left both answered and unanswered caused a rift within the party. With tensions high and the apocalypse nigh, our compatriots explored as many final options as they could within the Cathedral of Ascension in the sacred libraries to try and work out what really is the next path forward before time runs out. Breton and Valymr focused on covering deities and learnings that the party had perhaps left untouched and uncovered, whereas Ruby continued her research into unlocking new potential in order to face the apocalypse head on. There was a voice inside Ruby for ever since this campaign began, telling her about her past, her bloodline. And even now, towards the end, it drew her near. This, like the flames of Caloris herself, brought tensions to a boil, and she split from the party, looking to uncover the secrets of where Caloris was, if she, in fact, could be the answer to the apocalypse. Breton and Valymr, with research tied up, decided to continue on the decided plan, to go to the Underdark and to find ingredients and potions to protect them from psychic energy, which they knew that the enemies would use against them. In the Underdark, Valymr and Breton met with Valmyr's uncle, a sole ally that remained within Kensek Keep, And under his guidance, rather than meeting eye to eye with an aunt or a sister of Valymr's, he told you that if you could replenish his stockpile for creating potions by exploring one of the many Mind Flayer pods, as they were referred to, he would reward you with the potions that you needed. So, Breton and Valymr set out to find a Mind Flayer pod and extract vital materials. In the meantime, Ruby made her way to the Spine Mountain range, where she came across a lonely chapel, an old chapel, perhaps one of the oldest in the nation, where beneath it she found what she was looking for. Caloris, in her vast, unborn form, trapped within her egg-like state. She also found not necessarily the answers she was looking for. Within the chamber of Caloris, Ruby was reunited with Sol for a final time. Sol was soothing the unrelenting egg. And in that chamber, Ruby discovered that even Caloris' followers, even those who she owed her blood and her magic, they had worked out that sometimes Caloris' energy couldn't even be trusted to herself. That it was her scions, her followers, that had to make the choice to use her powers for good. To show that there was another option, another way. That fire didn't have to be destructive. Breton and Valymr, however, discovered that this pod within a mine wasn't all as it first seemed, uncovering a secret laboratory where it seems the Mind Flayers were being bred, experimented on. They explored the empty halls of this chamber, eventually coming across both a scientific lab, many creatures held and sustained in some sort of fluid, but also bedchambers, living quarters, and technology that would go unrivaled even on the surface world. We left off with Breton and Valymr, however, coming face to face with a Mind Flayer. And you two are actually in combat, so we will hop into that. But before we do, I'm going to give you all the opportunity to earn yourself, again, a point of inspiration. So, this is going to be some eclectic lore, and for no particular reason, and not to date the episode, but what is the head of the Church of Albe known as? And I will give you a bonus inspiration if you can give me that character's name.
Right now, isn't it the Emperor, after he did the whole ritual that you witnessed?
Ooh.
I think it's the Emperor now, isn't he? He did the whole coronation thing.
You know, I will give you. I will actually give you the bonus inspiration, because you're kind of right. He did become an avatar of the Pantheon, therefore he is de facto now in charge of the church. But I am looking specifically for the doctrinal leader of the independent state that is the Church of Albe.
Was the position the Archpontiff?
Ooh, not quite. That's too close to the real world. It's kind of synonyms of both.
Sorry, King Bishop.
Yes, it is King Bishop. Okay, 2 points of inspiration for you to spend as a party this session. Speaking of which, Valymr, I believe we finished your turn in combat, so we will now move on to Breton.
And I believe the
I don't remember fighting.
Did we
Bro
not take the
hasn't
first
taken any damage, has he? I don't think.
No, actually,
I'm not.
let's. Even if it hasn't, even if we did do your turn, let me hang on. I'm just gonna quickly check your effects and stuff to see what you.
By the way, it was Boniface the Fifth, I think, was the
I think it is
the one you were looking for.
No, okay. We'll start at the top of the order, so it will be you then, Valymr.
Yeah, because I feel like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I got terrible memory, but we opened the door, saw the Mind Flayer, and that's where we ended.
You might be right. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm getting confused because we're set on Breton's turn, but it's because you both had the same turn order, and then we had to adjust your initiative.
Yes, because I have extra bonus from being next to Breton.
Exactly, yes, exactly that. So, Valymr, your turn.
Which way is this guy facing? Is he looking towards us? Is his guy's back to us?
It's a case of you've opened the door and his head has gone straight to look at you. Or at least to the opening door.
I've never seen in person a living Mind Flayer. Probably seen corpses. I've probably seen decapitated heads, but not a living one.
Correct.
Would I know? Does this guy look like he is immediately hostile?
As a free action, make an insight check.
Yay, free.
Because I was about to say you have a weapon of warning on you, but it's not on you, so...
Yes, on
23.
There is an air of hostility. It looks like it's readying itself.
Because my thought here is we were told, like exterminating them is not what we're here to do, because that means no more materials for future potions.
No, we were told if we do exterminate them, that's a thing that we do, but it means they have to find another place to get their materials. He wasn't he wasn't wholly against the idea.
Alright, well, I am going to cast second level spell, Hold Person.
Okay.
We'll see how this one goes.
Sure.
Alright, let's get into the deep philosophical mentality there, Midge. Is a Mind Flayer a person?
No.
Oh, well, that's why it failed. I guess.
So...
I guess
whole person goes against... I don't think it works on...
it only works on humanoids.
It's humanoids, whereas Mind Flayers
okay.
are...
So if this creature is not a humanoid, then it has no effect.
Yes.
Hence the joke of, is this creature considered a person?
Not anymore.
Alright, well, Valymr tries to throw out a whole person. It obviously fails. Okay. I guess I'll throw out a Hexblade's Curse on it as well.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Breton, over to you.
I think Breton just watches them cast the magic and is like, I don't think he knows what magic he casts, so he's just going to assume it didn't work. He's just going to alright, 5, I think it's 5 feet to get in the doorway, and then he'll move over 25 to get next to the creature. I think I have just enough movement to get there.
I'm gonna cancel that movement and then move you manually.
Because I moved on top of it because I couldn't see where I was moving after I moved to the doorway. Yes, is moving straight up to it. Click for me. Click target the creature. We're gonna use the Blade of Equilibrium because why wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm. So you pull out your God Blade.
I roll a 3 on the die for a 17.
That hits.
Alrighty. We're not going to do anything fancy just yet. The first swing is just going to be 27 points of damage.
Yeah, it looked like it took it.
And then we'll take a second swing. That's an 18 to hit, which is a much better number. For 25 points of damage. And then using the last 5 feet of his movement, I think Breton's going to move to above it.
Nice. Okay.
And that'll be Breton's turn.
The Mind Flayer just... You feel it give a roar, even though its mouth moves. Sound doesn't emanate from it. The roar hits you in its mind, in your mind. It screams at you telepathically. It looks hurt by the swings.
I love it because we both have the Ring of Mind Holding. It tries to install it, and we just get it, and it tries to get it to us. And I imagine we don't feel that, but we just feel like I think it's trying to tell us something. It might be upset.
You have a notification. Will you accept a collect call from Mind Flayer? Nope.
I thought this was a good positioning, but no, yeah, just move right around us because you stayed at the doorway. Uh-oh.
You see, after it roars, just a wave of psionic energy be released from this creature's, like, sort of frontal lobe towards you. You should have advantage on these, shouldn't you? On intelligence saves right now?
No, I don't believe so.
Does the ring not give that?
No, the ring does not give us advantage on intelligence saves.
What's your current boon? God boon?
The Mother Wild Splendor, we can add D12s.
Ah, D12s. Right, okay, so currently you've both failed.
Yeah, that's really bad. This is not a thing that we want to let happen to us. If we want, this would be a time to throw like an inspiration to re-roll one of those. Yeah. And you can roll a D12 because you still have all 3 of your D12s left.
I also have all of my luck points, so I'm just going to re-roll with a luck point.
I don't have. I was gonna say, you also still have the luck point because of the Luxem point. I don't because I used mine, so I'm gonna use the inspiration to reroll mine.
Okay.
Remind me, I can reroll multiple times with my luck, right?
If you want to.
I do. I said I do.
Wow.
All right. There we go.
What's your total there?
I think
this is plus 6,
18?
so 18.
Sure.
My first reroll is a 21.
Okay. It was DC 15.
Yeah. Yeah, D12 would have been fine, but that is not a thing you want to risk because we don't want to get stunned out on this guy.
I know what this is. This is what the Mind Flayer does to Commander Zalk at the opening of Baldur's Gate 3. And then he misses almost every time.
So I'm gonna de-target you both and still roll them down. I think you take half.
I think on a success you don't take any. One of those rare save or sucks.
I think it actually doesn't. Yeah, you're so right. Okay.
I've run these creatures before. I know how they do. mean, that was really close, Valymr. Like, that was one save where we both just immediately, like, if one of us stayed up, it's fine. The other person can get it, but we both went down for that brief moment.
Yeah. I used up half of my luck already.
So that brief moment where that mind flame just went through a world of emotions of like, am I an ally? Am I innocent? Am I friendly? Neutral? Back to being hostile? It just cycled through being every potential considerations like, oh, this is not going well for me. We've used up the daily inspiration. I've used up my luck, since all I've got left are the splendors. That's great. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think that's its turn. Valymr, back to you.
Alrighty then. Well, I don't like that he just tried to blow into my mind. It's not fun at all. So I'm gonna get to here. And then I am going to, with my bonus action, I'm going to throw on a searing or branding smite. Let's go with a branding smite. And then we'll try and hit him with the glaive.
Okay. I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. He has... less than 20 HP left.
Cool.
You land a good hit here. You hit.
23 to hit. And then some damage. Yeah, I feel like that's some damage.
How would you like to do this?
So I run up with the glaive and just like kind of over the top of Breton's head and then down in an arc. And
how did you swing over Breton's head?
It's a glaive. It's a reach. You're tall, but this glaive is like it's a pole weapon, right?
So I'm trying to imagine you swinging horizontally over Breton's head.
No.
I don't think that
big sweeping angles. Angles.
Okay.
Yeah. And then cuts all his bloody tentacles and his arm off, and then after that the searing smite kicks in and his tentacles explode.
Sure. Roll me a d20, please.
Okay.
Above a 10, the head is left intact.
16.
Almost wasn't.
I saw that teeter. I saw the teeter.
You begin to strike down. You see yourself connect, and you're like, you quickly, dexterous, with great dexterity, just once you make contact, curve the blade around to avoid just going straight through its like face and skull, and then cleave through its body, leaving the head intact. You are out of combat. The creature is normal. You see as well around its wrist a similar gold-black band. The green coloring like vitals monitor went yellow, orange, and now is black.
Okay.
I think it's worth to wear a second one of these.
I mean,
we won't be able to avoid some of the traps.
You don't have one on yet. You want to try?
That's what I was wondering.
I mean, the one I've got on called me the Overseer. I can't imagine there'd be any extra level of access that this would give me.
I'm more just saying that if we have the proper authority to be here, if we can avoid some of the preventative measures to keep other creatures from making their way around this place.
Sure. I will see if I can take off his bangle and put it on my other wrist.
I mean, I was talking about giving Breton one, so we both have one.
Oh, no, that's what I say. Like, if you want...
That's what I was saying. Like, if we both have one, then maybe we both can avoid any traps in this place. That was the idea.
No, I thought that was what you said, and then I heard different. But, okay. Yes, good. That's a good idea.
Okay. So, Breton, you're going to...
But I'm not going to be able to pull this off you, that's...
Yeah. Breton will try and remove it from... now that they're dead, does it seem like there's any prohibitive measures from pulling this thing off?
No, it's gone slack around this thing's, like, wrist.
Okay. Breton will remove it, attempt to fit it down his own wrist.
Okay. Sure. Breton, you see the band glow to life and hover around your wrist, giving vitals readout, health, gives like analytics of your blood, that kind of thing, like as you've been seeing around this. However, it's still at the top of the chart. It says undefined user.
Well, I don't know if it's worked, but
would you and then there's a thing underneath that of would you like to rewrite data?
Well, I can't read it because I don't read the language, so Valymir's having to translate this for him.
Yeah, I'll translate all that.
Unless it's displaying in a language that I understand because I'm the one that's wearing it, but I don't think that's how it worked.
No.
Is there anything that I can, like... Can I manipulate this in any way? Like... Can I I don't know, is there a way that
just like letting Valymr try and like override authority and like just iPads like, no, grant permissions, adult account.
What are you trying to do, Valymr?
So I'm reading here that it says undefined user.
Yeah, would you like to overwrite data?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I make that happen?
There's a button.
Oh, I'll press the button.
Okay. Breton, you take 4 points of piercing damage. As the wristband just like sort of pinpricks you. And then it resets fully. Breton, this now seems to be reading out in common. And it also seems to say Breton Monteliet, security level officer.
Well, that's good enough.
Is there anything else that this Mind Flayer has on him?
You want to search the corpse?
Yeah, I'll search the corpse.
Okay. The Mind Flayer seemed to have been holding like a set of records at the time. Also, it seems to be in like a singular robe that looks very clinical. It's not very like occult robe. It's not like wizard robe. It's more. You've seen like some field surgeons kind of wear, especially in like army formations, with thick gloves over its weirdly oblong extended hands. You also notice this one's very pale. Like you've seen Mind Flayers, even like dead ones, retain like a very purplish skin. This one's very, like, white, almost.
I don't think I've ever seen, I mean, I've seen a bunch of Mind Flayer corpses come through Kensek. I don't think I've ever seen one quite this pale. This is abnormal.
Does
Mind Flayers don't often see the sun regardless, but this one...
Does it resemble the ones we saw in the pods and or the weird abomination that was outside?
It doesn't resemble the abomination outside. It's hard to see in the pods because the green liquid kind of tints everything.
So it is an abnormality even from the other one that we saw coming down here. That's duly noted. Well, if you want to take a moment to look through those, well, nothing to it but to Breton will sheath the Blade of Equilibrium, because that blade is not fit for doing such a menial task. But he will begin to remove the head of this creature with the, I'm going to say though, his longsword.
Sure. Two clean, thwack, thwack, and the head is off.
Are there enough tentacles intact that I can just tie it to my belt?
Um.
I'm a practical guys. I don't know what you wanted me to say. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. Sure. It's like-
better than having to carry it everywhere. Just tie it to a belt.
Bro, that's...
it doesn't mean it's staring up at you all the time. Just
Fine. Doesn't bother me.
okay.
I'm just imagining like the sound it makes while we walk around.
You also find 4 syringes on it of this like green liquid.
Do they have like caps on the syringes so we're not like, you know, as in like, you know, the spiky bit has got something over the end of it so it's not like spiky, or are they just out in the open?
Would be very sterile if they didn't have caps on them.
I don't know how much they care about sterilization here.
It'll ruin the experiment.
There's no caps on them.
Okay.
Is there any writing or anything whatsoever on them that might denote what's inside?
There's numbering on each one.
Is there anything you said he was carrying like notes and things?
Yes.
What language is that in, or is it in
You
whatever
don't-
language I can read?
You can read this. It looks like in the lab. It looks to be a lot of shorthand, so deciphering it is going to take some time. But it seems to be like an undercommon shorthand.
Okay.
Make me an intelligence check, Valymr.
I'm great at these. What's to say? Hang on. 14.
No, I'm going to say that's enough for this assessment. You would know enough that Mind Flayers don't use, like... They don't use standardized undercommon or any sort of... They don't have the need for it. They write in their very own script for, like, archiving, and the rest is done via the hive mind and telekinesis. They don't tend to write in a language that other people would be able to understand. So for this one to be writing or reading research in undercommon, very interesting.
I think maybe this is not the only thing down here. There's more than just mind flayers, because it's strange that they'd be writing in undercommon. Mind flayers have their own language. This is unusual. But I guess a couple of doors we could pry through.
I suppose we had that terminal in the past room, and you've got overseer access. Do you think you could figure out what's in these syringes? Do you think it's logged in their system? We've got numbers to search.
How these numbers, is it just like 1, 2, 3, or is it like a...
They seem to all have like their own unique number code on them.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. Do you want to go back that way now, or actually no? We're
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there. Yeah. I was thinking it was the other end. Then I will go over to the panel doodad and see if I can search for these number codes.
Sure. For reference as well, the number codes are the following. I will put them in Valymr, your chat.
Okay.
You begin to search the number codes. Make an investigation check for me. Not a very high DC. But there is a level of skill here.
Probably higher than a 3, though, I imagine.
Yeah, because of the technology.
I'm going to roll a luck.
Are you? Okay. So, that's a 2.
We are learning that Valymr is very technology adverse.
Valymr, just a Luddite.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not going to say you don't pass this. I'm going to say it takes a severe amount of time of looking if you wish to actually find the answer here. It depends just how long you guys want to try at this point to find what these syringes are.
I don't think we need to waste more than an hour. If we need to take a short rest, maybe we come back and look at it during that. But if it's going to take more than 5 minutes, I think we just keep moving.
Yeah, I think...
Okay.
I don't think I'd stick around. Like, probably just going to get annoyed at the screen. He'll be like... Technology, I wish Zep was here. And,
how many times have we wished that this campaign?
Yeah.
I wish Zep was here.
Yeah. Flash of genius, you know.
Well, he's our smart boy.
Flash of genius would not help me rolling a 3 or a 2.
Granted, we are not a dumb party. We do not have the training and intelligence-based skills that we need.
I have a +0 to my intelligence.
Yeah, no, we're not dumb people. All right. Well.
Well, in that case,
Sure. Back through.
Back through. And I think I'll go for the door in the south first. Feels like this is more likely to be like a dead end. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna have a look, just have a look inside.
This seems to be a storeroom with 2 boxes to the east of you in that room. There are 2 boxes that are humming. Like,
I find the head freezer. I would like to open one of the boxes.
Sure. You see a lot of you see large vials in racks.
Are they labeled?
Kind of potion bottle size. No, but they're all the same color. And it's like it's the color of well-hydrated piss. Like that.
Well-hydrated piss. What a word picture, Midge. Thank you kindly.
It's the world viewed through the Deus Ex filter.
I didn't.
This is Mexican water.
It's like really, really pale yellow.
Like, you could have said Mountain Dew, you could have said Mellow Yellow, you could have said
Kind of
anything.
green.
You went with well-hydrated piss.
Also known as Mountain Dew.
You think you get hydrated off Mountain Dew?
No, I think it dehydrates you. I think that's just fact.
There's a bunch of vials in here. This might actually be what we're after. Like, we're looking for... You know what? No, I don't have... Why would I think I have Identify? I don't know if I can Identify.
So if he's suggesting that might be cerebrospinal fluid, looking at the creature's head, is there any yellowish material similar to that is coming from this creature's brain?
Make a medicine check.
Medicine. Yeah, medicine's a reasonable thing to ask. We're also not proficient in that, so, we're doing our best.
Yeah,
we got
I got 0 on that as well.
It was almost a 17, but it came out. It's a 9.
Can I be helping on this? Because
If-
I made the suggestion.
I will allow a help action if this is verbalized that that's what Breton's doing.
Yeah, that's because
Sure,
what I.
Yeah. We're 2 minds doing everything we can here to figure this out. That's an 11.
11. Okay. I mean, there's... you don't see anything that's like purely like yellow. There's a lot of color coming from this thing. It's oozing quite a lot. Actually, one thing you do notice is there's quite a lot of green that kind of looks very similar to those syringes.
Interesting. So the syringes... I'm not seeing any of those vials, but there's a bit of ooze coming out of this just like the syringes we picked up. I'm not sure if that's a good sign. Maybe we don't want to use those.
I had zero intention of injecting myself with this. Question. What color is Mindflower blood?
I think it's purple.
I think so too. No, it's not.
It's not.
No. Sorry, I just...
Did Baldur's Gate 3 lie to me?
I think so. Okay, apparently no, it just varies from source to source. It's not consistent.
That checks out.
Alright, I'm gonna say, does this box that's humming, does it...
It feels cold.
Is it cold?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at a freezer.
You're looking at a freezer.
I'm looking at a freezer, okay.
Yeah, and the...
opening the other boxes, are we seeing the same kind of deal?
You open the other one? No. It looks to be, jars.
Move on over in here just so we see it.
Jars with what inside?
Various things. Organs, a lot of brain matter, like mushed.
Okay.
A lot of, like... Give me a survival check.
I'm good at these as well.
Well, you know, I'll help him. We'll put our brain together on this.
Oh, okay.
Since we can't seem to roll for shit.
No, that's definitely enough.
16!
That's definitely enough. You almost think, like, these look like ration packs. Like MREs.
Okay.
If they were like full of organs.
We found the pan. You know what? Looking at the previous room, that does look like a kitchen. We're in the pantry.
Cerebral Lunchables.
We're in the pantry of this place. Of course we are.
Okay. Close the freezers because we're looking for specifically Mind Flayer brain.
Yeah.
These not necessarily Mind Flayer brain.
Yeah.
Also, Breton, I think maybe a good idea would be if you drag in the spell for Dark Vision and just cast that on yourself. I tried to cast it on you, but I can't. It's a self-cast spell.
I can do
it
that.
Easier for you to see around. But anyway, yeah, opening the door. Oh, that is a long-ass corridor.
It's also
right. I don't have... Okay. That just goes.
I guess make it to the first door and throw it open. Oh, this is...
It looks to be a large closet.
Anything interesting in the closet?
Looks to be like linens, laundry.
Okay. I guess open the one next to Breton then as well.
Breton, as the door opens, you see like a personal sink or a wash basin of some sort.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but more and more of this seems like this is not a layout for these creatures?
Seems more like a hospital almost. Creepy one. That's more like a asylum. I guess move on to the next next door.
You're not going in that previous room?
Oh, there was more to it there. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. It looked like the it was just a sink and nothing else there. But
No,
yeah, I
no,
guess
it was just the angle.
Okay.
Rather than actually move into every room, Midge, and have you confirm every order, it just seemed like, let's just assume we actually look into the room to see if all that's what there is.
Sure, no problem.
Saves you effort.
The rest of it seems to be bunk beds, and they're like clothes pegs on the far wall.
Does it look recently lived in?
Fairly, yeah.
Does the clothing bear any similarities to styles we've seen?
There's no clothing on the pegs.
There's no the pegs are bare though. Okay.
Yes.
Does it seem like someone picked up and got out of here in a hurry, or does it seem like whoever left here more recently did so on their own time?
Give me a survival check.
Sure. Like, did they just happen to learn that, people were coming in and decided we need to leave? It's 19.
Sure. 3 of the beds are like pristinely made, where one is clearly slept in. You also notice that underneath the bed there's like drawers, and one of them is like opened and empty. The rest are closed.
So someone was here up until recently and decided to leave.
Okay. Could be a friend that is only attached to the hip, but I don't know. I think we need to be on our guard. There might be more in this area. I'll move to the next doorway and open her up.
This one's another like barred door, so you can see slightly through it. It's a series more bunk beds, another wash basin, and what looks to be a latrine.
Everything just went dark for me.
Interesting.
Oh, I was clicked on Breton, that's why. Does this look recently lived in or pristine again?
This one's... There aren't any bed covers on any of the beds here. But also by the fact that this was like one of those barred doors, which did open to you because of your wristband.
This looks like prison.
This one looks more prison.
Okay.
This might have been where they were keeping the test subjects.
Yeah. Guess we'll check the next one then. Is this another bars on the doors situation?
No. The 2 beds are either side of this one aren't bunk beds. They seem to be larger frames. They've got bars on the sides of the beds, and like they are bolted to the floor. At the far back of this, there is a sterile table in which medical instruments are arrayed.
Testing room, maybe?
Yeah.
You also notice there's like a drain, like a liquid drain, next to each of the beds, into the floor.
Fun. But no one in there. Is there any... These medical instruments, what kind of you sound like scalpels or...
Scalpels, forceps, tubing, some test tubes.
Okay. Any liquid in the test tubes, or
No. Seems to be clear.
to the next one?
South or north door?
I start with the north.
This seems to be another one of the same as the previous. Like a very sterile medical environment.
Open up the
And
south
the
door
south.
too. Looks like a closet.
Yes. This is again. This one is actually double iron bars across this one, but it seems to be a storage area.
Looking down this hallway and the fact that it seems like it connects to the kitchen, does it seem like this is where they've been extracting brains to make meals?
Possibly.
Like if they're... Either way, it's not what we're looking for, right? All we can do is keep on going.
Yeah.
Sure, there's
Next
not just
doorway.
one life there in there.
This looks definitely like a
Bathroom.
toilet. Okay. Okay, so nothing in there other than nothing I find interesting in a bathroom. So, unless anything that stands out, I guess move on.
It looks like this tunnel connects back to the first hallway we went through.
Yeah.
It does. I've unlocked the movement now.
Okay. I guess go through this door and back into the main area.
Assuming we have permission to just make our way through these doors
You
now,
do.
yeah.
Okay,
indeed.
that helps.
So that covers pretty much everything we've seen thus far. All that's left really is to head back to the other passageway we hadn't. We doubled back
And
past
there's
where the gnome was.
there's also the stairs leading down.
Remember the stairs leading down here
Those were
just
collapsed.
goes to collapse and
No,
everything.
no, no, not those ones. The ones on past the lab in the
Those
south.
Those lead up.
That's what I said, past the
yes.
gnome.
All of those lead up. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, past the gnome.
I guess I want to go into this main room again.
Mhm.
Anything look different with the people in the tubes?
Different?
Yeah, from the last time. Does there anything strike me as like, oh shit, something changed?
Make a perception check.
Last we checked, one of these guys was gestating at like 97%.
Look at me. 7.
7. You don't notice anything different visually about this room, but your wrist is kind of tugging
What direction?
towards the pool in the middle.
Oh, well, fuck it. We'll follow the wrist. That's what I always say. Follow your wrist.
As you get right to the edge of the pool, you get a bloop, bloop, bloop alert from your wrist.
I will read my alert.
It says specimen selection. Welcome, Overseer. Today, you will get the chance, an opportunity to be bonded with us. Please choose an offspring from the hatchery. And in front of you, you see this pool of fluid. Around it swim hundreds of small, worm-like creatures.
Oh yeah, no, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Parasitic in nature.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna be bonding any of that kind of crap. But I'm gonna pull out of my pack I have a bottle of poison wine, and I'm gonna pour that in the pool.
Okay.
There's four. I think.
This looks like a pretty sizable pool. Like how much water would you estimate is in this pool, Midge?
The thing is, I don't remember what this poison wine is. It might be the one that causes the crystalline neck pain thing.
Oh shit! If you're talking about you got it from the from when we were in Nardathel and people in the servants and the crown prince was the poison, not the crown prince, the
Yeah.
King to be. I don't know if that would. It responds to bile, right? Like, what is the liquid in this pool?
Caustic brine, maybe? I guess.
So, as you pour the poison wine with the flesh-eating poison, the flesh metal poison in it, and it makes contact with the large pool of cerebral spinal fluid, I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw from both of you as metal, flesh-eating metal begins to expand out and create a spike crystalline environment. Also, this is going to scatter tadpoles. Most likely, because not all of them are going to die here.
I get a +2, right?
I'm going to use my last point of luck. Yeah, you get an extra.
I get a 22.
Okay.
I get my final point of luck to re-roll that nat 1. Dexterity save. Let's try again. 16. Just to call this cerebral spinal fluid, we should have bottled this up and brought this.
It's almost like this was the thing you were here for. Okay. Okay. With the 22, Breton, you dive out of the way. And you manage to turn your armor in such a way that what little of the now rapidly steaming pool of fluid and ever-expanding crystalline metal as it splashes out, you manage to avoid it completely. Valymr, you mostly avoid the fluid, and however, a small amount does get on you and begin to eat at your leg before you manage to just essentially take your glaive and cut the surface skin off before it ate further. For that, you take 13 points of acid damage. You do see tadpoles now be both absorbed by the metal and begin to try and climb their way out of this pond.
Okay.
Also, the lighting in this room, completely red. Alarm sounds everywhere. As an overseer, you get an alert of contaminant, hatchery contaminated. Please begin a system flush.
What's the worst that could happen? Is there a thing that I can press to start the system flush?
On your wrist?
On my wrist. Okay. That was interesting.
You are not out of danger. I will say. So I will need direct actions from you guys. Yeah.
I think I would like to go down into this like lab area in the bottom. See if there's anything in there that I can use with my new overseer bangle to. I don't know. See what I can press.
Okay, I'm gonna put token
Up switches. Oh.
We're gonna do this in turn order.
Okay. To there.
Okay, you make it to there. Breton.
I dash.
Yeah, you can dash. Dash is an action.
There we go. I'll dash as an action over to there.
Breton, what are you doing? Valymr just dumped a load of poison into a pool, and it has begun violently reacting.
Yeah, and I don't think we understand that is the cerebrospinal fluid that we came here for, nope. Despite everything. So, we've got one brain that is theoretically viable for what we're doing here. Fuck, Valymr took off towards the south.
Remember, talking is a free action.
Talking is a free action. Oh, this is gonna be a fucking decision here. Breton's not gonna abandon Valymr. As smart as it would be to be like, let's just get back to the fucking entrance, because if we need to get the fuck out of here, we need to get the fuck out of here. But for now, Breton's gonna move 30 feet to there, and I guess he's also gonna go taking off into this room as well, because that's the move right now. He's gonna dash into here. And as a god of all the times to not have access to a spell like fucking Spirit Guardians would just be fine, but we don't have access to that.
Just to say right now, apologies everybody, we're having
spiritual weapon that I have.
So what was that, Mitch?
I was just saying to the audience, we've got camera issues right now, so apologies. Beth has disconnected.
I think Breton just dashes into the room, because like, if Valymr's going to fix this, then Breton's just going to be around in case he gets into trouble. He's not just going to run out of here. That's his turn, though.
Okay. Okay.
All right. I think I am going to get over to the other side of this console, and is there any buttons that look like submissive and pressable? Anything standing out as something I want?
No, none of this isn't. This is like laboratory desks. So this is where you're seeing like, a lot of flasks, Bunsen burners, and stuff. To remind
the consoles are on the bottom wall.
Consoles are on the bottom wall. There's also a big pumping system on the right.
Does that pumping system have like valves and wheels to turn and stuff?
Yes, and it seemed to be controlled by a brain. One of you went and looked at it before.
Controlled by a brain? In what way?
There was a brain in stasis within it that looked to be part of the mechanism.
There's another brain that we could take. Can I? Can I? Can I cast command on the brain?
What would you like to command it to do?
Flush.
Give me a second. failed its wisdom save. You point at the brain in the machine and command it to flush. And you see you hear the running of liquid. Through unseen ductwork.
Okay.
You hear the gargling from the pool that is still steaming behind you.
I think that may have worked. Of these consoles and the bottom wall, do they look the same as the one in the Overseer's bedroom?
Pardon? Sorry, can you repeat that?
The consoles on the bottom wall, do they look the same as the one in the Overseer's office?
No, these look far more complex.
Fail rolls on this as well, then why not? Can I start pressing buttons, see if I can make heads and tails of like what we got going on here?
Sure. Okay.
Kind of rolls. Well, I need to fail on that one then.
But you can't do anything else on the rest of this turn.
Oh yeah, true. Fair.
Breton has nothing to contribute here. Not without starting to breaking shit down, and it seems like it's too early for that. He's just going to sit there and keep an eye on things.
Okay. At the end of this second turn, Valymr, you get another ping on your wrist, and this one actually comes through to you as well, Breton. It says full system flush initiated. Survival status protocol engaged. All viable specimens will be produced for transfer.
That one at 94%.
I think all those pods are about to open up, Valymr.
Okay then. Looking at those pods, does anything look like it's changing on the pods themselves? Like, is the liquid level rising, falling?
Nothing yet,
anyone
but
waking
all
up?
of the but there was like various like lights and alerts near the individual readout pads.
All right. Can I get to? I'll hop over this table. And can I ready a spell?
What spell are you ready?
It is a cantrip, just Eldritch Blast. In case of pod openage, evil gribbly emergence. Also, if any tadpole decides to start crawling at me aggressively, then I would like to blast it into the Dragon Age.
Sure. Breton, your actions?
There might be some creepy creatures coming. I think Breton is going to... I need to look at how the spell actually works. It's an AoE concentration for self. I don't think I can give this benefit to other people. That's a bummer. I think Breton's going to go ahead and cast Aura of Purity. Giving us So as long as he's within 30 feet, that is advantage on... That's immunity to poison, not that it matters. Resistance to poison... Sorry, immunity to diseased, resistance to poisoned, and advantage on any saving throws that would cause the blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned conditions.
Okay. Nice.
And I think Breton just sword out, is just expecting that we may be here for a minute or two.
Mm-hmm. You see 4 of the pods begin to empty, with creatures that are through various stages of some sort of transformation happening, or some sort of viability. Some of them look like thinner than others. Some of them look healthier than others. They don't necessarily look hostile right now. But you can see that they are being ejected from this. Also, you notice that at this point, the poison, for now, has stopped growing out of the pool. But there is still this like acidic steam bursting from it, and there's quiet like screams and writhing noises.
I'm not unhappy about that. These may not be immediately hostile to us, but we need their heads, and I don't trust that they're going to remain non-hostile.
Yeah.
Valymr, you have a held action.
Can I use my readied action to...
Sure.
And then I just started blasting.
Okay. So you see that pod in front of you is draining still. Like, you don't think these guys are, like, able to get out yet. But this is now, like, you see and it's, like, moving of its own volition rather than being held.
Alright, well, a couple of beams going in at that one closest to me.
Okay.
As a 19 hits.
It does not hit. Because you are trying to also get through the pod. It has partial cover.
Okie dokie. I will fire again then.
Go for it.
Double miss.
You're mostly hitting machine at this point. Do roll some damage, but untarget the Mind Flayer if you can. Because you are doing force damage.
Yeah. So 10 and 10.
You see ductwork and piping and glass shatter from the machine. It begins to drain faster. This one is now
helped it.
Pretty much fully targetable.
Okay.
You still have another shot? Don't you?
True. Okay. If he's fully targetable, I'm gonna strike him again.
Yep.
A couple more Eldritch Blasts his way. 26 to hit.
Does hit.
7 damage, and then another 23 to hit. Is that one?
You get 4 shots
I
with
do.
your Eldritch Blast?
3.
3. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, that readied action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, that's my prepared action then. Apologies on that last.
Okay. It is, however, now your turn.
23 to hit.
Hits.
And 11 damage, then 20 to hit,
Hits.
and 12 damage, and then the final one, 28 to hit, and 6 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Sure. Breton, your turn.
I don't have ranged options, so waiting for these things to move is going to be my best bet. I think I have no idea how well their psionic abilities would go through walls and stuff. But Breton is going to assume that if he takes cover, he's going to be fine. He's going to move around here so these things can see him, but hopefully not kind of split he and Valymr up from any mental shenanigans. And he'll take the dodge action too, just in case.
Sure. Okay. Just you hear Valymr, you see like on your wrist, just gestation complete. Early gestation complete. Early gestation complete. As the like the pillars that are holding life begin to produce their creatures. The other ones that didn't begin to open fill with electricity.
Purge away.
As it says, exterminating failed specimens.
The ones that did not make it, did they look like they were in a less developed state? Or do they look the same?
You didn't get a full analysis of every single one. The one that you passed like directly in front of you looks like more human, you'd argue. Or humanoid, should I say. The one that you freed early and have attacked does begin moving towards you. And it's going to take cover behind the tube in front of you. Okay, Valymr, back to you.
It's taking cover. It's very hard to resist the temptation just to go murder hobo. Because at the end of the day, like, we are here to collect these guys' heads.
Okay, so what are you doing?
Suffer not the unclean to live. I'm going to move to here, and then, actually, I'm going to move to here, and, I'm going to use my glaive
Sure.
on the Mind Flayer.
Okay.
No, actually, no. Eldritch Blast again.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
It does.
Yay. And 15 damage.
Yep. Roll me a d20, please.
14.
Okay.
And then...
You have 2 more shots.
Yeah, I'm gonna move here. And I'm gonna use my other 2 shots on this Mind Flayer. That's the most frustrating dice. Nat 1, so miss.
Mm-hmm.
And then 14, miss.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Valymr,
Yes.
you feel an entity trying to contact you telepathically. But it is blocked by your ring of mind shielding.
Can I tell what kind of contact this is? If it is a hostile or a communication or anything like that? Like, can I tell what?
Only you can allow it if you want this, but
I will allow it.
okay. You hear a voice. Overseer, what was wrong with that specimen?
Can I say it was premature and imperfect? We do not suffer imperfections.
Make a persuasion check.
Would that be this? Okay.
Or deception.
Notice we find out that Valymr actually doesn't tolerate imperfections.
Why am I rolling like ass? My last 3 dice have been a 1 and 2 2s.
Mm-hmm. For a total of
12.
Okay. No boons you want to use or anything?
I don't think I've got it. I've got the D12, don't I? Don't I? Hang on, let me have a look at what that... it's in handouts and stuff. We were using... Motherwell Splendor. Yeah, I'm going to use one of the D12 tokens.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yo, I got an 11, so that'd be a total of 23.
Mm-hmm. You get another reply. Very well. I await your protocol.
Can I respond, I'm going to, I'm going to say to Breton, I'm going to firstly block out mental shenanigans again.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to Breton, there's someone trying to contact me. They're saying... They're asking for my protocols. They want to know why I killed this Mind Flayer.
So they're watching us and there's still more here.
Yes, it seems like it. Or this could just be a brain in a jar on a desk somewhere that's got some...
Make an insight check, Valymr.
13.
The Mind Flayer to your left, to your west, the closest one to your west, past the one that you killed, looks to have lowered its guard. It looks like that was the one that was trying to talk to you.
Okay.
Well, that's a shame, because I'm guessing he's about to be the one deemed imperfect.
No, the one I deemed imperfect was the one that's dead now.
He's about to be the next one deemed imperfect.
Okay, Breton.
I mean, he's fully healthy. The one on the right he's got heavy damage.
You know what Breton's gonna do? Breton really doesn't like. Breton wants to just come in here and just start, Deus Volting the crap out of this room. Don't get me wrong, but distance is a problem, and I think Breton's gonna make one less precaution because he knows that this can go very south very quickly. And Breton's gonna cast Death Ward on himself.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just in case this goes tits up beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
I removed the spell slot before I cast the spell, so I don't have access to those spells. Hold on, I gotta fix that. There we go. Yeah, Death Ward. Whoop.
Fair enough.
So Breton now has protection from immediate death and other bad stuff, which is super, super useful. As a bonus action, he doesn't have any bonus action spells that don't have concentration. But he's going to move into the room begrudgingly, just because that is the current plan.
So right there, you've also slightly climbed up onto the tank that one of them exited. That one hasn't exited, but is like covered, filling with lightning that keeps shocking the water.
Okay, so not on the tank, behind the tank.
Yeah,
but that is
there's
his
just
turn.
enough ground there that you can stand on. Sure. From your point of view, the three Mind Flayers look to be communicating. Valymr, your turn.
I don't know. I am going to cast on myself protection from evil and good.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna turn to Breton and say, they're talking with each other, but I don't know what they're saying.
I can tell.
Breton, your turn.
Yeah, alright. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can just... No more games. These things... Like, we gotta take care of them. Like, that's just the name of the game here. These are horrible monstrosities. Technically they're aberrations, but they are horrible beasts that feed on people, whether they are planted this way or not. We are going to start dealing with this problem and not worry about it. Breton's going to move up to this one. Equilibrium at the out. He is not putting any subterfuge into this. He is attacking.
Okay, so you're attacking the allied one.
They gotta fucking go. I'm done with the conversation. They gotta fucking go. That's 19 to hit. Unfortunately, I don't crit on a 19.
That does hit.
I am going to throw a first level Divine Smite on this, though.
You're attacking the allied one, bro.
Oops, I think I double rolled that. That was 27 points of damage. I'll throw another attack roll in there just to see if it hits. That's actually a natural 20.
Hold on, let me give it its 24 hit points back before you...
Before I smite it again, yes. In all the times that I would have thought, okay, yeah, there's no way that I get the double. It's like, there it is. There's the fucking double and the crit.
Right, go for it.
That's for 43 points of damage.
It has 1 HP.
Unfortunate. Well, I don't have anything as a bonus action, so that's Breton's turn.
Okay.
Also, just in case it wasn't obvious, my protection from good and evil is against aberrations. Because I have to choose. This is save or fucked.
Well, indeed.
And I don't have any luck.
You have advantage on the roll.
I rolled really well anyway.
I need to give you...
It didn't roll my advantage.
So roll an intelligence save.
Okay, so I got a 10 and a 12. I guess I'm going to use my second use of D12 for the Mother's Wild Splendor to try and beat this saving throw. 20.
Nice.
Yep, you both saved. As this one's latent psionics failed. The one right in front of you begins attacking you with its tentacles.
Yeah, this could also be a big problem. That's a 1 hit point. That's unfortunate.
But it misses.
Nope, stop moving. I'm gonna opportunity attack. As soon as he comes into range, I get to hit him.
Sure.
Sentinel baby. Hang on, need to target, sorry. 24 to hit.
Hits.
17 damage. And he's prevented from moving any further.
Valymr, your turn.
Okay. I am going to say that using the Blade of Equilibrium on that does giga shit tons of damage on someone with 1 HP is pretty silly. So I'm going to use Eldritch Blast, and the first one is going on the very unhealthy guy.
Okay.
18 hit.
It does.
Okay, well, he's dead, but damage is... I rolled the least amount of damage possible.
Roll
6.
a d20, please.
10.
Okay.
Okay, and then the other 2 blasts are going to go at fella close to me. That's a 24 to hit for a 13 damage, and and final blast is 16, which apparently hits, and also does 11 damage.
Roll me a d10, 20, please. Okay.
Can I use a d12 on this?
Why would you be able to use a d12 on this?
It's a d20. Okay, no, okay.
Is it
Fair enough.
is it an attack roll saving throw ability check?
I don't know. You've not specified what these d20s are. Well, okay, no, then it's a 5.
Okay, thank you. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably, yeah.
Breton, over to you.
Hi, my name is Breton Montelier, and you're a problem.
Not for long.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep on going on this one, the one that tried to stun both of us. Swingy swing. That's a 21 do hit for... I could probably take him down in 2 hits. Let's not let this guy get a turn to grab my head and try and eat my brain. Divine Smite at... I'm gonna say 3rd level. Oh, I can click that like that. That is so much cleaner. It's at 43 points of damage.
Oh, that's a big chunk of damage.
Second swing. That's another 14.
Hits.
And at the risk of destroying this guy's brain, he's going to aim for the torso, but another 3rd level smite for an additional 41 points of damage.
Okay, you're back out of combat. Please roll me a d20.
Sure. 8.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. How many of these brains did we need to collect?
Again, there wasn't a number. It was just as many as we could get.
Oh, I will start relieving this one of its head, because I'm pretty sure I rolled high enough on this one. Or it was over 10 at least.
Was it?
Yeah.
I know there was one that I got a 5 on. I got higher than a 10 on everything else.
Yeah. The first two, I think the first two was 11 and 10, and the second two was an 8 and a 5.
So, make me a medicine check, please, Valymr.
Can do. I'm going to throw in the D12 here. 19. Sure.
So as you begin extracting the brains of some of these individuals, you find that only 2 seem viable. As the others, and at that, one of them is only just. As either the damage you've done to them is too heavy, or they weren't fully formed yet.
Right.
Sure. All right. While he's doing that, all right. Is there anything else to explore in this place, or is this just time to bug out? We still have upstairs to go, but I don't know if it's worth our time going up there.
Yeah. I think we got one more brain to get, and then we leave, yeah.
All right. While Valymr is pulling the heads off these two guys, Breton's going to make his way back over to the brain that is on the contraption over here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is his reasoning now is like, you know what? There's a brain there.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was going to keep a brain in anything, maybe that's the fluid that we're looking for. So what he's going to do is he's going to try and find a way to open that casing by force if necessary. And he's just going to use one of these large, like, volume beakers that is over on the table, and he's just going to try to fill one up with it.
Okay. You find like a 2-liter beaker.
Mm-hmm.
And you do find a drain eventually on this machine. I'm going to give you time to do this.
Sure.
This machine seems to be that green liquid that was keeping everything else in stasis.
Everything else in stasis. Well, maybe that's not the fluid we're looking for, but it might be useful. Either way, he'll take the leader of that. Maybe they'll have some use for that back when they.
Sure. So you're going to fill that 2-liter. It's going to be heavy, but it is a big old beaker.
He'll fill it up and.
Yeah.
What is heavy?
Hopefully have a way to cork it to make it so it's not just, jostling around.
You can find a cork in here as well, quite easily. Luckily, there's a lot of those kind of supplies.
And I will try and extract the head from the shoulders of the next one.
Yeah, I'm assessing that you're going through all of these, Valymr.
Okay.
That's why I said you get 2 out the 4.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I thought it was each individual one I had to roll for. If not, I'm happy.
No.
I'm rolling like ass today.
Valymr, make a perception check, please.
Yes. I just told you I was rolling like ass. 10.
You feel something crawling up your leg.
Ah, fuck! Eldritch Blast on on my leg.
Okay, disadvantage at close range attack.
Yep. it's what he'd do. 20.
Yeah, you shoot what was climbing up your leg. As you see a little tadpole go, and you just blast it away. It explodes.
Good. Can I go and also... Can I collect one of these vials from the desk and try and collect a tadpole in it? The way I would try and collect a tadpole, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and see if I can get it to pick up a tadpole.
Mage Hands can't restrain creatures.
Okay.
You would know that.
I am going to wait until one of the tadpoles is near, like, if there's one on the floor crawling around, I got the beaker.
Okay.
I'm going to hold it near it.
Nothing.
What?
You're just putting nothing in the beaker? You're just trying to like catch it like a bee or a wasp.
No, I'm going to cast command on it and command it to enter.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to work, but I don't want to touch this thing.
Okay. What kind of check is
A wisdom save.
wisdom?
Yeah. It is DC 18.
I can't remember if command requires the creature to understand your language or not either.
It does. It does require that. Yeah. Valymr, make a dexterity saving throw as this thing launches at you.
Shit. Okay.
I've still got a lot of high-level spell slots if I have to put you down, man. Like, that's a worst-case scenario, but...
23.
You manage to bat it away before it can latch its tendrils onto your face.
Yeah, that... Look. I've seen Alien. Fuck this. I'm out of here. Let's go.
About this time, Breton, you finish filling your 2-litre beaker.
Fingers
These
crossed this is the
tadpole
right
things.
stuff.
Not a fan of these tadpole things.
Alright, well, if we don't have another way out of here, we're gonna have to cross that room.
Like I said, there is this stairway upwards on the left, or we could go back in the room and go the way we came.
I mean, you know what? We may as well see where that goes, just to see if it does somehow connect over, but I don't think there was any other connections, but... we'll see! It's better than crossing whatever the hell that monstrosity is going to be. Maybe they'll die in the time we're gone.
With any luck, yeah.
Okay. As you begin going up the staircase, it's clear that this is going to... it's climbing up the same sort of depth as your way in. You think this is another entrance.
You know what, that works. Hell yeah.
And as you get up to this, like, you feel like a very, very cave-like structure, and there's, again, those big metal doors. So this one is larger. This seems like you could put wagons in here. Maybe this is a delivery room. A garage, if you will.
Okay. Is there any crates around where things have been delivered? Or is it an empty space?
There's a few things. They all seem to be like, it's a lot of empty crates, but you also notice like a cart that has cages on it.
Empty cages?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like it was freshly used, or does it look like it's been here a while doing nothing?
Make a survival check. Or an investigation check.
They are equally bad. But I nat 20 it, so balances out.
The level of like dust and detritus in this room isn't much, but there is enough that you suspect that this cart is relatively recent, maybe a week.
Okay. Is there a hand panel next to the doors?
As in like the hand that you used to unlock this. If you remember that appeared when you got close to the doors.
I will get close to the doors.
A hand panel does appear.
I think with this bangle on, just that might be enough, so I'm going to put my hand on the hand panel.
And the door opens. You see in front of you a lake.
Lake.
Yeah, like it's the edge of a lake. You see a
Wrong
small
way.
mushroom forest at the other side as well.
Is there any land at all, or is it just a lake, and this is the way that things are transported here?
It looks to be just water, but that wouldn't make sense to why there's a cart.
I mean, you could put a cart on a barge, I guess. Is there any barges, boats, situations?
Doesn't seem to be any mooring. It's just like this door opened into lake. There's
No, this is the wrong way. This is the scariest thing in this entire area.
Breton, you've got pretty high perception.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that next to the door, on the opposite side, like just outside of the door frame, there seems to be like mechanisms. Looks like a winch.
Sure. He'll go over and see if maybe whatever is here is sunk under the water and maybe needs to be raised up.
You see a mechanical latch Do you pull it?
Yeah.
You hear a kuthum as a iron grated bridge begins to rise out of the lake, the water draining through it.
Oh, this is good. We just have to get across this, and once we get to one of those... You said there was a mushroom forest, in the distance?
Like the other side of the lake. It's probably
Yeah, this one.
50, 60 feet. It's really not far.
Once we get there, we can just jump straight back to Kensek and be done with all this.
Yeah. Getting across this sounds like we should probably go back in, around, and through the other entrance, right?
Fred just starts walking across the bridge.
Okay.
I'll see you back at Kensek, one way or the other, Valymr.
Because at the end of the day, this doesn't look like it's been used in a week. And, in a week, the whole mechanism could have been, rusted away, and it doesn't look safe at all.
Breton's 40 feet across the bridge already. He's basically already to the other side.
I'm probably at this point, yeah.
Don't like this. Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. I don't have anything that's gonna help.
Out of Misty Steps.
I have Misty Step.
What's the range on a Misty Step?
30 feet. I can cast it 4 times. How long is the bridge?
60 feet.
Oh, double Misty Step, baby.
You could get across this bridge in 6 seconds if you just ran.
Double Misty Step, baby. That's a second and a third level spell.
Okay. You use your spell slots to get across the bridge. You begin to try and orientate, both of you, where you are. You're probably... You theorize that you're the other side of the... the hollowed out mine system. You're clearly this is not the same compass point as you came in.
Look, if we need to go back across that bridge, I do have 2 third level spell slots left.
You do feel like you could navigate the open terrain here to try and work your way back round to get around to the front. I'm just saying because your mounts are there. But if you wanted to begin pressing on, you could out as well.
I think we can try and make our way back to Kensek from here.
I mean, we already talked about this. Breton will send a message to his mount that we're returning to Kensek. Make your way back along the trail. And because we have Motherwild Splendor, we can cast transport via plants. And there's a mushroom forest right here. We can just jump straight back to Kensek.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's why Breton's we just need to reach the forest. Then we can just roll back to Kensek in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Sure.
That's not better because we don't want to leave these heads, for a day or two. They're going to get ripe. We want to get them back where they can be stored properly.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna one of you is gonna consume the boon and transport via plants back to Kensek Keep.
I think Valymr should make that call. He's more familiar with the trees and such that would be there than Breton would be.
I was about to ask where are you planning on? You going for just outside the keep or?
Either or.
So, is there going inside the keep is dangerous? Can I use a snapstone to contact my uncle?
Sure.
And tell him that we're going to be coming back via... Is there a courtyard with a tree in it that I would know would be good for this?
There's a courtyard
Mushroom
with a garden.
tree.
There is a courtyard with a garden, however, it is right in the center of the keep. It is in a clear path.
Anywhere inside Kensek probably would be reasonable if there's any
There's
suitable plantage.
So you want to go within Kensek itself?
Yeah, I think so. Within Kensek, but not in the keep.
Sure. Just so in like the village proper of Kensek.
Yeah.
Like the castle town. Okay. You contact him and you arrange to go. There's an old mangrove and a single standing mushroom tree near the boathouse. And that's where you arrange to go, and you both transport via the plants there. And with that, we're going to take our midpoint break. So, join us in 10 minutes' time, and we'll see you shortly.
Hey, come here a minute. Do you need royalty-free music for your TTRPG content, whether that be a YouTube video, stream, TikTok, Instagram post? Don't worry, we've got you covered. My name's Alex, I've been a content creator for almost a decade now, and I've teamed up with my good friend Harry to produce 10 royalty-free songs for you to use in your content completely for free. We've tried to make a whole range of motifs with this album, covering happy music to sad music, to mystery music to combat music. And if this takes off, you know what? We might even make some more. So give the Elendor Chronicles soundtrack Volume 1 a shot. It's free to stream everywhere, and if you want the high quality downloads, you can come over to our Patreon and download them, or you can contact me directly at tabletop@themidgemansworld.co.uk as a creator, and I'll just give it to you for free. That's it, there's no catch, and just to prove it, we've also given you guys a user license agreement to prove that you have the complete perpetual rights to use this content. So enjoy, and good luck on your next adventure. Oh, good day. I'm Martin Sanderson, and I'm the CEO of Avari Military Solutions. We here at Avari know that it doesn't take much to cause problems out on the frontier, whether that be from local pirate raids, neighboring interstellar powers, or even just an unhappy populace with unreasonable demands. Just what is a small to mid-sized regional power to do when faced with these problems? You look to Avari for your solutions. With open-ended contracts, well-trained personnel, state-of-the-art aerospace forces, and competitive rates, we stand ready to help find the right solution to your problem. So if you have a problem, why not call Avari for your solution? Our operators are waiting to take your call, and consultations are free of charge.
Avari Military Solutions, a solution for your problem.
Avari Military Solutions is not licensed to operate within the Kark and Grey Baronies, the Andes Corps, or any Class A combat zones. AMS is a subsidiary of Omni Radiance Holdings, a family company.
When is a story more than a story? When a tale is more than words on paper? When is an ad more than the script it's written on? In the darkest and deepest annals of our own history, worlds of wonder and splendor burst through like a blister made of hope from the brain that's rattled and riddled with madness. A radiant pustule. Writing, art, that's storytelling. That is the true lust of life. You too can dutifully indulge in art. Like fans of the greats. Shakespeare, King, Tolkien, Seuss, Mercer. You too can indulge through Twitch Prime. Get an extended access to a wealth of knowledge with a simple click, an emotion so small that it could endlessly amount possibilities. Embrace those feelings. Support art. Support the component cast.
So, we return. Gentlemen, you are met. You arrive at the boathouse outside Kensek Keep. It's near a fishing pond. It's not like a shipwright. It's a singular sort of, you take rowboats out onto a pristine, like, it's not a defensive structure. This place is used for like wildfowl and eels. Kind of, it's that kind of lake.
Question.
Yeah.
Would this be where Valymr has maybe some traumatic memories involving water?
I believe that was directly towards the fountain in the courtyard, but it's still the site of water. And there's definitely been some teasing here, probably. And you wait for about 5 minutes before your uncle shows up. So,
Not really going to do much other than like stick to the shadows, as I'm currently holding a couple of mind flayer heads.
I take it you make yourself known to your uncle, though.
Yeah. But the hood is up and trying to remain
Anonymous.
Yeah.
How did it go?
These pods, mind flayer colonies, whatever they are, I didn't know they were so surgical, so laboratory-like. Is that what they're usually like? There was like big glass tanks with mind flayers inside them, like gestating. This is not at all what I expected to see.
Sometimes, when a mind flayer colony develops properly and they build everything out of brain matter, and it gets a bit gross but clinical. Give me an insight check, both of you.
23.
He's speaking in a half-truth. You can tell he's not. He's picking his words carefully.
What aren't you telling me?
Nothing. I'm agreeing with you. They can be quite laboratory, right?
Well, and I reach to the bangle on my arm and try and pull it off, but
oh, it comes off
freely.
freely.
Strength for it. Oh, it comes off freely.
Mm-hmm.
This thing, when I put it on, it recognized me as the new overseer of this facility. And in some data slate record keeping thing that they had there, did you know our great grandfather was also an overseer of this place?
He doesn't hide it well. Look, mind flayer colonies can get peculiar. It was, however, deemed necessary by some to continue what they couldn't. I haven't always agreed with it, but it's not been my call.
Alright, well... We have what? Is it 3 or 4 heads total?
3 total.
3. We have...
And
You are telling me you have been farm-raising abominations.
It is... less about that. More... a... pacification.
Oh, yes. Because taking people, putting them in tubes, and subjecting them to experiments, that's what I think of when I think of pacification.
He looks quite shocked at that. I'm not sure I followed what you were talking about. From everything I know is the certain sects were experimenting on the Illithid to get them to follow commands, see us as part of the hive, but as not a threat. Are you saying it was different to that?
I'm saying there was a giant pool of tadpoles, and they were turning things into mind flayers. It was being used as some sort of breeding ground.
I will do a minor image of the least developed mind flayer in its tank.
This is not at all what I have been informed on my reports. This is nothing that I have been aware of. And you went to the mines? You found this there?
Yes.
We always thought that was just
great steel structure hidden in the mines.
Yeah, he looks perplexed. Like, honestly perplexed.
I will just do some minor images just to kind of show the vibe of what it was that we saw.
We always just thought it was a stubborn nest that we couldn't clear out, not that someone was creating them there.
There's a lake by the... Would I know this kind of area? Would I know what that mushroom forest
right
is?
On the edge of, like, the realm for you. It's so you probably could point it out on a map.
The mushroom forest over... Anyway, there's a large lake, and then attached to the lake is kind of like an entrance way area where they're receiving cargo. There we saw in a large entranceway there was a cart, wheels, not a boat, cart that had cages on it. So they were receiving deliveries of people. Inside this place, we also encountered a deep gnome who was in the process of being turned.
But they're immune.
Not this one.
Ceramorphosis. It doesn't affect them.
Well, apparently it wasn't so immune to this one. But these experiments were going on, as far as we can tell, regularly, and judging by the state of the facility up until recently.
I think maybe the latest delivery was 2 weeks ago. Though this place hadn't had an overseer before me. Was it? How long was it? Like a couple of decades, or was it more?
It was like 70 years.
Okay. And it now recognizes me as the overseer, apparently. And I'm the first one in 70 years. But
So heavily.
there was a guard illithid there.
So this place is being run clandestinely.
From what I can tell, I mean, so this place was weird.
Very well. Well, let us fulfill our contract and then we can decide what to do next.
Are we walking, talking at this point?
I would say
Or are we all...
this was all happening at the boathouse, and now it's kind of an usherance in.
They, well, we picked up these syringes there as well. They're all filled with some kind of... I don't know if it's spinal fluid. I'm sure you've got some way of identifying this. I don't. But, yeah, 5 syringes of whatever this is. Breton, you picked some juice up as well?
Yeah, there was a beak of whatever these creatures were gestating in. I'm not sure if this is the same liquid or not.
It's a similar color to the stuff that Valymr has in syringes.
Yeah.
And then 3 intact illithid heads.
Those will be perfect. I am not sure what this liquid is.
Yeah, I think it would need identifying.
It is not cerebral spinal fluid. That tends to be a clearish liquid. Off-white.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't know what we were looking for when we went in, so that information may have been useful to us before we went in, but either way. 3 brains, it's what we could procure, will stay intact.
This will be enough for me to write the books and get you these potions. You needed 10, correct?
That would be great. Yeah.
I can definitely get you 10 for this. Maybe more. Oh.
Hey. As much as we can get away with, that would be... Yeah, for sure. Every little helps. Was there any questions raised about what you were doing? Any suspicions that something is amiss here, or?
Nothing that I've heard of. The guards just, passed on the message of a group of adventurers were down to help us recently. That's how I've marked you in the books and the logs. That is about it.
Okay.
Your aunt and sister are none the wiser.
I guess it remains. Valymr, do you want to go and have a talk with them before we leave?
No.
This might be your last opportunity.
The only thing that I see happening if I see her is a fight. Mother asked me kindly not to kill her.
This is yours.
Maybe if Ruby were here,
If Ruby were here, we'd be having a very different problem right now.
I mean, I don't doubt that. But the idea of fighting my sister with the sorceress on side, it's a little bit more welcome. My family are quite powerful magic users in their own right, and our counter spell is a pretty useful spell.
As much as things are problematic around here, I would prefer that we didn't return to the old ways of dealing with family quarrels like they tried to with you. For what it's worth, I'm sorry that that happened to you, Valymr.
Unfinished business can stay unfinished for now. It's fine.
Your call.
I can get you back to. I can get you back to the Rien unseen in about an hour if you're ready to teleport. I'll have the potions for you by then.
We can get back there pretty quickly ourselves.
Okay.
Just need the potions before we go.
Then give me 15 minutes.
I think, yeah, get these potions and then we'll go back through the tree again.
Okay. I will meet you here then.
Okay. While he's off, can I bring Breton to, like...
You're in a really... to where you want to go.
Like,
where do you want to go?
Tavern for some local Kensek pastries.
You can certainly...
In 15 minutes?
We haven't been back to Kensek in however long. I need to go to Kensek Greg's.
I will allow... If you say to your uncle that you're going to be in the village, in the township, he'll arrange to meet you in the township.
Okay. Yeah.
However, I will need you to give me a stealth check for you, not to be recognized/noticed.
Sure. 20. Dirty 20.
Furthermore, is anyone telling Ruby that you're going to be heading?
I was waiting for an opportunity to speak, be like, I'm going to take a snapstone and tell Ruby, finishing up here, we'll be back in the Rien in a few minutes.
Okay. Because that will change the end of Ruby's scene, because I doubt she would teleport here if you guys aren't here, which is something I needed to try and confirm if you're staying or not. So, Ruby, you received...
I think it would still just be the 15 minutes. But, yeah.
Okay. 20? Yeah, you're fine. Valymr, you find a local bakery, for sure. Breton, it's interesting. A lot of the food in here smells quite, like, earthy? Not necessarily, there's not an abundance of sweet treats. There's a lot of, like, savory treats, and it's kind of very... Have you ever had truffle?
No, I can never afford it.
Okay. Fair. So it's got that kind of earthiness that also sometimes you get carried with some potatoes, or like barbecue that's been cooked in the ground, that kind of thing.
Or as I say, man, this tastes like dirt.
That's a good thing here. You managed to get yourself some snacks and just reminisce a bit before your uncle comes.
I don't think Breton picks up snacks. I think Breton would pick up. He would pick up anything that was like raw, unproduced, uncooked ingredients. He would pick up local mushrooms, local like beast meats, whatever, like local vegetables.
Let me check the calendar. Yeah, there'd be a market. It'd be a market day. So there's enough that like you can absolutely root vegetables, mushrooms, meats, some goose by the looks of it. And Valymr is like, oh, that's good. That's good. It's like they use it's like an underground wasp nectar that they use as like a honey kind of thing. You pick up you pick up ingredients for sure. And eventually
it's tradition. We go to a new place, we pick up the local like the local foods, and Ruby cooks into something she can think of. Yeah, like that's totally what he does.
Valymr, your uncle does.
No, she doesn't like mushrooms.
Valymr does come to your uncle does come to you with a small crate, and you hear the clanking of glass inside of it.
This is gonna be a grey hell. You don't have much.
You've paid it forward by getting us the ability to remake this. From everything that I've heard that's going on up there, you're gonna need everything that you can. So,
yeah. Good
luck.
Thank you. We're hopefully not gonna need it, but we're gonna need it.
And if it goes really bad up there and you need to escape to the underground, real estate prices down here are pretty good at the moment.
Just to convey the seriousness of this, because maybe you're joking and I just don't get the humor. You realize if this goes poorly, there won't be an underground.
I know. We do not normally help those above to this extent otherwise.
Yeah, not in my lifetime.
He offers you both like a handshake.
You will get one begrudgingly from Breton, but Breton's still reeling from the whole revelation. Like, these guys are experimenting on people, and they're making monsters. And once all this above ground stuff is said and done, Breton's come back down here to kick some doors down. He's not just letting this go. Sorry.
I'm perfectly happy to pin the blame on my sister. Yeah. Okay. I'll handshake and I'll. It was good to see you again.
Likewise.
Take care of yourself.
So
if she finds out that you helped me, then she's probably.
There's a list of things that I have a list of transgressions against me already. Remember to write to your mother, though. Somehow, even despite everything, I still fear her more.
She is formidable.
And he bids you both farewell.
Through the tree we go.
You find another tree and back to the Rien. Where are you going to try and aim for? I
think we're heading back towards Seat.
Okay. Inside the city, outside the city, where are you trying to go
to? Presumably there is a nice tree inside the city somewhere that they would have gone by any number of times. I imagine outside the cathedral, considering how ornate it is, there's probably a garden or something there where a tree that would be sufficient for them to just step out right in the middle of the city.
Sure.
You could always go to the tavern where we met up with Ulfric and talk to him again for the fourth time in 4 days.
As much as I love a recurring gag, I think we finished up what we need to do here.
And
I think we bamf back to Seat, and we end with ours heading back into the cathedral for looking into whatever other research we're going to find as Ruby finishes up with her business.
Ruby, you're about 4 hours ahead of these guys. So are you also redirecting to see if you had that information when you were, because that would have been while you were traveling down the mountain originally. That there were no longer the Underdark, because when we left your scene, you teleported to them, if I remember correctly, or you tried to.
Yeah. If they're gonna be in Siege, she'll go there when she's done reading.
Sure. Oh, so you're staying there to read now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She can read the book. If they're gonna be busy, fuck it, I'll read a book.
Okay, you can read the book for a bit. I will say, that book is quite hefty. But you begin to read some of the in-depth stories of the different lives of these various individuals that, from what you can tell, came before you in a similar position. The first author within this book seems to be the direct daughter of the betrayal, the betraying prophet that gave their life.
Yeah. Do any of them live happy lives at all? Skip to the end of all of their lives. Do they die fulfilled, or are they dying in combat, or?
The ones, as you read through, a lot of them, there's a recurring theme where they all seem to have this almost inner battle quite a lot of the times, bar, say, one of them. Who... it was at the height of the... it was at the height of the Holy Wars, not the Heavenly Wars, the ones where the church went to the and set up the theocracy. The Vestilian theocracy during the Vestilian Wars. One of them just took to traveling, and spent a lot of time in Kaiteng, according to their writing, where they found a lot of peace. But for the most part, there's a through line of a call to adventure. And a call to find out answers.
Well, she'll collect the Staff of Fire and the tome, I think, was the thing that was in there.
No, so there was the tome, there was the Staff of Fire, and there was a Feather of the True Phoenix.
Feather of the True Phoenix, okay. She'll collect her stuff. And probably teleport right back to Seat.
Do you teleport to the teleportation circle outside the city?
Yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake twice.
Sure. You do so. And I will say, for the sake of brevity, you can all regroup.
You'll come walking down the stairs.
Breton, Valymr, you've been back at researching? Or have you been just resting?
I mean, as much of an ordeal of the day as it was, I don't think anything stops them from just alright, let's go throw our head into these books and see if any other new piece of useful information then it's just to hop out at us.
Give me a history check each.
Sure.
If you don't have anything specific, I will...
I'm gonna use my Mother Wild Splendor, because I've still got a die on this.
Holy shit.
Oh no, I consume my die. No, I can't. I consume my die.
You consumed your boon. You can't, so...
Yeah.
A 25 is still amazing, though. Breton.
17.
Cool. Breton, pick me a god.
Pick you a god? Oh,
Pick me a member of the Pantheon.
A member of the Pantheon. Fuck, do I choose one that we've already chosen, or do I choose a new one?
Is there any that we haven't looked at yet?
Oh yeah.
With a 25,
you guys have only cleared
I'm.
like half this place.
You're right. We've only cleared like half of the Pantheon. I think. You know what? I think Breton is going to be unoriginal here. I think now that what we learned about they who would be king, I think he's going to go back to the king that never was and start looking through that.
Sure. Sure. Fine. With a 25, you go through a series of bookshelves. You've looked over them before. When something starts to stand out to you with a certain set of tome of books, there's on the binding of the books, there is, you notice it there's like a little stud in each of them, which is, and on each of the studs it has a different part of the king that never was his holy symbol. Almost like the holy symbol has been broken down into its component parts on each one.
So each of the books has a stud, like in the book or on the cover of the book.
So it's like on the what do you call it? The spine of the book. It's just
the
a little
spine of the book has one.
Yeah, each has a little stud of the different parts of it. So one is the sword katana, the broken sword. One is what seems to be a crown. One seems to be two suns like laid on top of each other. That you would know that if you stacked those, it would make the full symbol. But it's been broken on each of the bindings of this book.
Yeah, that's just puzzly enough. That's like, all right, let's start rearranging these and see if we can't get them to fit the picture together.
Okay.
Does it seem like they could be? Does it actually? I'll ask this because this is something that I have an idea of more so than Breton. If it doesn't seem like they can be arranged in such a way to complete the holy symbol, then if Breton starts looking through the books, and this is jumping into a very much of a deep end. So if each of these holy symbols were to be arranged where the holy symbol was complete, reading like from the book itself at points where it's like, this is where that holy symbol is, and then you read through the books rather than just reading one book. Like, do the lines sync up across the 4 books to tell you something else?
So you flick through the books. You notice the symbol appears at different points in, like, the symbol that's on the spine is like imprinted in ink on a page at a point during the book. And it's like orientated slightly differently. And as you pick up the book and as you turn the page, you notice that light seems to pass through that ink splotch where it's like almost burnt in and see-through. Like light passes through it. And it draws you to think back. Way back to when you were a kid and you walked through some of the streets of the Nardathan. And you'd see street performers. And some of the street performers, the sideshows, would use like paper cutouts and light to cast shadows. But certain thicknesses of the paper would be like able to diffuse the light or block certain levels. Kind of reminds you of that.
Like it's... All right. Then with that knowledge, Breton's going to see if there's a flat piece of wall that he can set up. Maybe put like a lantern like 15 feet away from it, and he's just going to start holding these books up where their ink splotches are in front of the light and see what shines on the walls.
Sure. It seems to cast a shadow of the symbol, of that part of the symbol. Almost like you could layer the books in a certain order, cast light through them to create the full symbol.
Yep, sure. That's Breton's next hour as he tries to figure out how to do this.
Sure. So while you set up that contraption, Valymr.
Yes.
Pick a god, any god.
Considering how we've just been blessed by the boon of the Mother Wild, in a way, I'll go with Mother Wild.
Sure.
Oasis.
Okay. 17 with Oasis. You spend some time looking through. The Oasis library. Lot more wood here. Like every library shelf is deep, different color, different types of wood. There's also like natural fauna in here. Flora in here, not fauna. It's not animals.
Yeah, there's rats. Rats are here.
God damn.
There is just a deer that's just like grazing in the center of this.
Oh dear.
I am the eternal deer. No, but you do come across an object that's interesting. You see a somewhat radiant-looking horn.
Radiant-looking horn. Okay. I will pick it up, and the urge to blow it immediately is real strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I will not, and I will go and find the, what's her name, the Archlector or the head librarian.
She's just an archbishop. She's just an archbishop.
Archbishop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask her about it.
Okay. She looks at it and goes, oh, this is a magical horn. It is it's known as the Horn of the Glade Protector, and you notice it's like this. It looks like, it's kind of like a spiraling bovine horn, and then into the horn is like carved, almost like an ivory. It's almost like an ivory tusk, but it's horned. And then in it you see like loads of stags and unicorns and such, like carved into it.
Okay.
It calls spirits to protect the person who blows it for an hour.
That's kind of interesting. Do you mind if we take this to Dragon Island? Maybe the spirits would help us there. Use all the help we can get, after all.
Sure. I mean, I guess.
While we've been gone, has there been any revelations you've uncovered? Have you been down there?
I haven't been down there, no. I'm
working up the courage.
Yes, I think that's the best way of putting it, yes.
Skeleton is quite friendly. Surprisingly so for skeleton.
Don't doubt it. I think Delphina found some things though.
Okay. I'll go find her and see what she's found then.
It is about this time that Ruby, you entered the cathedral.
Hey, I made it.
Hey, where did you end up getting off to then?
Places.
Same.
Yeah, how'd the Underdark treat you?
Better than the last time I was there.
Good.
Which, I guess that's not very difficult though.
Low bar.
The lowest. Out of my pack, I'm gonna take out a grilled spider meat pasty. Savory kind of meat snack, and I say I picked this up while I was in Kensek, and for sure Breton picked up a bunch of ingredients. Give it a taste.
Is that a spider?
You can't see the meat. The meat's inside the pasty. It's like, you know, pastry covered the meat inside. You can't tell.
You know, I'm always about experiencing new foods from different cultures, but there's also some things I think I'm just okay not knowing the flavor of. Those mushrooms look good, though.
Good.
I can do a lot with mushrooms. I don't like them, but I can do a lot with them.
Yeah, Brent picked up a bunch of mushrooms. Apparently, Athena has found some stuff. I was just on my way to go see her, and Breton was last time I saw him, he was checking out the King That Ever Was' area.
Yeah.
I can go probably collect him. Unless it's you need to do as well. I don't know. Anyway.
Several things I want to look up, but
I guess I'll head towards the King That Ever Was' zone.
Yep. She'll go.
Okay.
Tell me, Mitch, what secrets of the universe have I unlocked by aligning these shadow puppets?
Sorry, I'm just writing up the horn.
Then I guess Ruby will make her way down to where Breton is. He didn't die.
Nope. Still here.
Good.
Okay, Horn of the Glade Guardian should now be in your inventory.
Yay.
She'll set the Staff of Fire aside.
Brett, are you using your hooded lantern for the light?
Or
the direction?
I believe that is the light that he has, yes.
Sure.
Inventory.
Okay.
Yes.
As you light the symbol appears on the wall Interestingly as well, there's slight color hues to like distinguish the component parts of it. And you see 3 words, one like inscribed on each piece. One on the crown, one on the blade, and one on the suns.
And those words read...
They read... Elendor, Valymr, Escanador.
Elendor, Valymr, Escandor. Elendor, Valymr, Escandor.
I'll write those out for you.
Yeah, that'll help. So I think that's what Breton is just staring at right now, just like looking at these 3 words, just repeating them out loud, like they're making sense. Elendor, Valymr, Escandor. Elendor, Valymr, Escandor. Obviously, one of those is a name. We recognize that name.
Yes.
That's Elendor. We live there. It's not too bad a place normally. Valymr.
Recognize.
Is Valymr the land where the elves came from? Because the elves didn't come from here.
No, you would know that that word has kind of elven structure to it.
Yeah. So assuming that, yeah, at this point, I guess if these 2 just kind of wander into the room, yeah, after that, Breton remembers like, right, Valymr, you speak Elvish. What the hell does a Valymr mean?
Midge, what the hell does a Valymr mean?
It's Elvish etymology. The name must be broken down to mean something.
It means, you would know that means, like silver light, but or like eternal light. It was a really, it's an old name.
It's really old words. It means like silver light, golden light, something spiritual light, something along those lines.
It specifically was used a lot as like an early name.
As in, like, for a person's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, people read some... I remember reading in history books, people were called this. A Valymr was a name.
Yeah. It is a name. But no one's named that anymore, are they?
I haven't met any of Valymrs, but... I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Elendor is the name of the realm, the world, the plane that we live in. If we think back far enough, did Elendor also used to be a name that people used to have? Is that a very old name, by any chance?
It's one of those things of, with both Elendor, Valymr, and as you look at it, Escandor. It's one of those things of like, all of those it's one of those things of like, my name as a human being, my name is Alexander, which comes from like the Greek Alexandros, which comes from the like the old, much more ancient Hellenic Greek of like Alexandratios or whatever it is. It's like, it would be like, there are still names that are similar enough and that are like root word of this, But no one's really... It's like, if people were named that, it was a long time ago. Or it's just a case of someone being called... It's like, I'm sure there are people in existing world, people called...
Derivative fiction, derivative work index enough that it still exists in some form. Like, Latin is still around because most languages take their form in root Latin some way or another.
I'm sure there is at least one human being in this world called Gaia, but
sure,
that would be the word for the world, you know.
I guess my other point was, are these like a person's names, or are these like a surname?
They could be utilized as both.
Because Breton was studying the lineage of bloodline families that tie back to the king that never was. If he is like looking at these names and thinking back to the houses, like, does it seem like any root names? Like, if he goes far enough back, are those names in there, or are those names like successor families or like derivative names? Do those start popping up?
You look to the genealogy books that you've read, the unfettered genealogy books that you found. You do see the name Escan. But the others, again, it's like... There are, again, sometimes you see the names that these would have, that would have come from these names, but not these exact spellings.
Yeah. These names are there. Well, 3 names. That's what I managed to find pouring through these 3 books. Hidden Away, Trick of the Light, Hidden in Seals. But all of them are connected to the king that never was. I don't know if this is them, these are they, or if it's just more of hints and clues to what went back that far. Might be worth bringing to Ulrich. He might be able to shed some light on this as another update, but I don't know if this is enough to go to him with right now.
Okay.
At that point, I think Breton just sits down and starts rubbing his temples after being obsessing over that for the past, hour or whatever.
Ruby's reading a different book. Whenever you all want to go talk to him.
Do we have any other information that'd be worth giving to him? I don't think we've learned anything since the last time we talked to him already.
Also, you have 14 potions of psychic resistance, by the way.
14 potions of psychic resistance. That will fully come in handy.
Yes.
Alright.
Valymr, by the way, do you want to read out what the horn does?
Yes, it is an horn, and when I blow it with an action, 2d4 spirit stags and a unicorn appear in front of me. They return after an hour, or when they go to 0 hit points. And it can only be used once every 7 days.
Sure.
It's like a horn of Valhalla, basically. But
it's a useful find.
I never did identify with the horn of the horn. Damn you, Valymr. The phoenix feather does, the true phoenix feather.
No, you didn't.
I shall pull that out. Cast Identify on that.
Sure. Feather of the True Phoenix is it's either utilized as a spell component, or it can be utilized as a consumable item.
Is it a Phoenix down?
It is a creature that is attuned to the feather. When it has been killed, will automatically cast True Resurrection on itself.
Is it consumed afterwards, or
Yes.
is it just... Oh, damn. I have the immortality protocol!
On a natural 20, it isn't consumed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Elendor, Valymr, Escanador.
If a Valymr is a name, maybe the other two are as well.
That's my assumption, that each of these are names. And looking into the book of genealogy, all of them are names. All of them date back in some form or another. They are all connected to the king that never was. My thought might be, as I said, that these are the names. These are the three that became the king that never was. But there's no firmer evidence of that, and that's leaping hurdles. But knowing them might have opened something up.
The Escanador name. I don't think I'd know anyone with that name, but could I get an idea of like what region of the world it might come from?
Make a history check.
Can do, boss.
I'd be willing to bet one of these, the etymology comes from the theocracy.
24.
That part of the world.
24. There's naming convention wise, there's a subtlety of Elvish to all of them, but not fully. Valymr is the most Elvish word. Escanador is the least. Elendor is like middle ground in terms of grammatical convention.
Right.
Hard K's as words are used a lot in like Caliphate language or stuff on Solomon. If it was Nardathelion, it would most likely be spelled with a C instead.
Right. Makes sense. Well, funny, we had reason to go and chat with the Ice Witch that I forgot the name of again.
Salwa.
Because we know the names of most of the party at this point, other than the ones that became the king. Because it was the hero, Selhwa, Gilliam, Avabella, Nemo, and Ulrich. In fact, we know what happened to Nemo too, but I don't have that in my notes.
Nemo went and
Lost
tried
at
to...
sea?
Yeah, it was lost at sea. No, please, no Finding Nemo jokes.
We're not finding Nemo. No. He got lost at sea. He can fucking stay there.
I didn't even think about that before now, and now I'm annoyed at myself.
Oh, we'll just do a stealth edit. It's now Nero. Doesn't make it any better.
No, it's worse. That's worse. Dragonborn named Nero from the...
At least he's not a half devil. Anyways,
yeah.
So, if we think this is the King of the Woods is a multiple person in one situation, are we thinking that this is the 3 people that became the one?
it's the closest we've come to evidence of that. There's also, I feel like there's also evidence towards against it, because if they were trying to hide the names of the individuals who assumed that position, they wouldn't have named the plane after it.
Unless that could be a case of, like, you're never going to be able to forget, like, the name of a person, but how about we change it? Change what that word means for people. Like, hide the name in plain sight. Change its definition.
So they do that for one of the 3 names?
Clearly the other 2 are just forgettable in general. I don't know.
Ulrich might know the significance of these names, but like I said, if they were commonplace that long ago, then it could have been anyone. But it just seems weird that they would be hidden in this book. Actually, looking to the... Breton starts to look at, like, when was this book penned? Like, how old are these books?
There is no date or author to these books. They are 3 simple, 3 leather bound. One has like a dark brown leather, one is a light brown leather, and one is like almost like a pale tan leather binding, and they each have a gold stud and a simple marking on the side of the book. It just says Treatise Volume 1, 2, and 3. And if you want a quick, like, round out of what the contents of the book are, they seem kind of legalese. And it seems to be hard references of, like, just the nature of the planes. Like, the stuff that you know is established, that denizens from, and it's like, denizens from this plane cannot enter through this. Like, this is...
And I take it, I get that he's not fully reading each of these books. That'd take a lot longer than we've had, but these other names aren't mentioned in those books, at least so far that he's saying.
No. Not in these 3, no.
Do we want to look them up in Luster's Codex?
Not a bad shout. I was about to suggest maybe we ask our friend below about them, but yeah, Luster's Codex seems like a better shout. Find me Elendor, and it just
You are here.
You have reached your destination.
Who was the person, Elendor?
We will pull out the Constellarium and let them ask the question.
Sure. What question are you asking the Constellarium?
Who was the person Elendor?
Okay. You see the star map that it forms, the various, you know, it shows you like outlines and stellar formations, and it's trying. You're getting the impression that it's searching, and it does show you a map of Elendor, the plane as you know it, but it keeps flickering. Keeps glitching out.
Can't find it.
Give me a perception check, Breton.
Perception. $26.
In one of the flickers, you see one of the like the star shapes that forms part of the connection points keeps flickering faster than the rest of it. Like a 40. I'm going to use a real world synonym for this so that Lake can understand rather than what Breton would understand. But it's like a 40 light connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's rapid. It's like
You focus in on that.
Give me an Arcana check, please.
Yes. Or I'll have a million error messages when I look back at the screen. Oh, there it goes. Arcana. 24.
Try as you might, there is like a resistance, which is unusual. But you do eventually try to, I guess, zoom and enhance on it.
Mm-hmm.
It zooms into what looks to be the stars kind of like realign as it pulls in, as the light grows bright, and then it like it's almost like a new constellation that you've opened up into. And it's formed the shape of a hill. A large hill with a flat top and twin peaks. On it you see the outline of an individual. But this vision is from like far away.
How far am I looking?
You look like you're looking from a mile.
An impression of where on Elendor this place is. Where on Elendor is Elendor?
Place with twin peaks. Well, right here. The cathedral is built on one peak, the castle on another. It's the peak that seat was built around, it looks like.
This was supposed to be the place he ascended, yeah? That's why it's called the Cathedral of Ascension. It's the last place he was.
Right. Let's take that note and let's make that assumption. What about a Valymr?
One moment, please. You see the loading screen.
So what's the question?
Who was a Valymr?
The image changes rapidly. It shows you clouds and storms and rain and swirling tornadoes.
Mm.
All of you, give me a perception check.
Keep on searching for the weak spots, guys. 25.
16.
11.
Breton, the flickering starts again.
Mm-hmm.
This time you're ready for it. And you're waiting. You see in the top right corner, near the apex of one of the tornadoes, a light again that's flickering faster than the other. You point it out.
That's the one.
Need to go there.
Ruby, give me an Arcana check to try and zoom in.
I'm gonna re-roll that. 18.
18. You struggle, and you manage to, for a brief second, blow this one up to size. I'm going to give everyone the opportunity again to try and do a perception check, because this one isn't as held arcanically.
18.
17.
17.
You all just about catch a glimpse of it. You see an elongated cliff face on what looks like a peninsula. Rolling sort of high seaborne cliff face. No peak, it's just like the cliff face is tall. And you see a bright light, an outline of an individual. Just cast on the edge of the cliff. It feels like the full. It's like a wide panoramic.
We need to remember that. We need to make a note of that.
And just like that, it's gone again.
Valymr, you want to put up an image so we can maybe jot down, make a.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a
Minor
illusion.
Sure.
Right, we'll just pull like a piece of charcoal and just start like taking a piece of paper and like trying to make a.
Valymr, give me a proficiency, charisma plus proficiency, as you try to, combine your memories, what you've seen, recreate it like cleanly.
So it'll be just a plus 10.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Ooh.
Okay.
That one, baby.
You just about get like a rough recreation. It's really hard to interpret stars forming shapes into then illusionary lines into shapes. But you've done an okay job.
I think by the time that Breton has finished, like, what he thinks it looks like versus what Valymr's put it down, he's looking at it and like, this doesn't look anything like what I thought. Shit. I'm guessing if we looked up Iskanador, it'd be the same thing. But these may have been the places where these individuals... Well, this is where they ascended? Did they not ascend together? I guess I'm just a little lost on this one.
Yeah, lost is a good way to describe it.
No, if it was lost, I'd be repeating numbers.
And then going off the plot by about season 4.
What do the names mean, Mage? What do the names mean?
Are you trying the same with Iskanador?
I will try.
Okay. This time you are the formation of the image again. It's cloud-like, but there's no tornadoes this time. In this time, you see like the clouds are enraptured by vines. and leaves. All of you give me that perception check as it begins to flicker once more. Valymr, you catch it. Like 3 from the bottom on the left. You see a flickering, one that's flickering faster than the others, now that you know what to look for.
Can I point it out?
Sure. Whoever wants to give me the Arcana check to manipulate, I'm guessing it's Ruby again.
Yeah. 30-20.
You manage to hold this one better. It blows up again. This time, you see a cove on a sandy beach, but almost like open stalagmites and stalactites. Which are the ones that point up?
Stalagmites.
Stalagmites of what seem to be coral formulating along the coastline.
Can we tell where this coastline is at all?
Make a nature or history check for me.
I know what every person in this group would prefer to choose. I'll make a nature check just to be the person who doesn't make the history check.
Sure thing.
24 on history.
12.
21.
I also rolled the lowest. Great.
You chose an intelligence-based skill.
You get the impression that
So did you.
Yeah, but I'm proficient in it.
Ruby,
Midge.
Valymr,
Midge.
this doesn't match the descriptions of anywhere. Either this location is stupendously obscure, or it doesn't exist.
Or off the map, anyway. It doesn't exist may be inappropriate, but...
I have no memory of this place.
I watched that last night.
You know. This might be the first chance I've had to view at a place that's outside of Longreach and Solarum. Or a place that got blown up, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's out of time, is it?
It's hard to say with, lights and stars.
I could theoretically teleport us there. Alternatively, we could get squidged. I don't know for certain.
Elendor, as a plane, is sort of the place where the trash of the universe and the multiverse just kind of washes up, right?
Sure.
One way of putting it, yeah, I guess.
It's nebulous. It's not the same as the others. That's what we've learned. It's what we've sort of pieced together. Is it the only one? We've seen that there's other places. The mirrors showed us any number of different other versions of Elendor, but isn't Elendor the only one?
Not necessarily, I guess. I don't... Is it possible to know?
I don't know.
Going. Certain? Not without going.
We've looked at this. We have information. I suppose it might be handy in the future. We still have a timetable to be keeping to, right? This autumn.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you like to do, guys?
Breton's gonna make notes about what they found in his little book.
Sure.
Try and keep notes of it. And then I think Breton is going to just say screw it. And while today wasn't the most exhaustive day, he's going to take a nap because he's been through a lot. I think emotionally.
Sure. Are you taking a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not staying up late to try and get more research in. He's just gonna fucking sleep.
So
Yeah, Valymr will be doing the same.
you all bed down. Ruby, are you bedding down as well? Taking a rest after your traveling and
Don't
journeying?
need to.
Okay. So you spending time reading?
Yep.
Sure.
Probably better studying, yeah.
Okay. After your rest, you gather your things. Delphina does come to find you as well in this
Right,
rest time.
we do need to speak to her. Found stuff. Forgot.
Delphina comes and says, I was looking through the some of the scrolls and discussions within Luster's room. I was looking through a book of interactions from someone who is an explorer. They were walking a beach one day, and they picked up a bottle which had this letter inside. They made a note of it here in their text. It said,
Well, let's have a read.
It said, Salwa. Oh, no, sorry. It says, should this letter be found, please take it to the Archdruid Salwa. They then go on to say that the message was a simple line. I found Ava. Nemo.
And how old was this? How old is this letter? Does it look like?
We don't have the original, but this was the initial book was written 400 years ago. But they theorized that this was a very old bottle that washed ashore.
We've met Salwa.
Yeah.
We have not yet met Ava or Nemo.
We think we know where Ava is, though. But Nemo was lost at sea. And a bottle with a letter in it washes up on a beach.
Was there any indication of what beach it washed up on? What north coast, south coast, which continent? Like where was it found?
It was found on the south coast of the Nardathel.
South coast of the Nardathel.
Clearly, it was washed up by one of the trade winds.
I mean, if we knew exactly where it washed up at, we might be able to look at a current map and see how far it may have gone, but... Nemo found Ava. When was Ava lost?
I don't even know who Ava is.
Avabella.
She was one of the party.
Smith. She was apprenticed to Indar, right?
Yeah.
And we have her chess piece.
We also know that allegedly she went on to form the Tsardom of the dwarves. That was why the Tsardom is also on our list of places that we might want to visit. Wow, it's the first sign of Nemo that we've seen since we've started into this, and not just evidence to think that he was drowned at sea somewhere. He might... Nemo's a dragonborn, right?
Yes. Blue one. And a wizard.
An eccentric.
Yeah, I think Breton looks at Valymr for a second. He might just live
We're not
under
going
the
after
sea.
Nemo.
Oh, he might just live underneath the ocean, Valymr. I don't know what to tell you.
I can fucking stay there. Is what you can tell me. I mean, the guy was apparently obsessed with what was going on beyond the sea, and he died there because the sea is evil.
Don't have any evidence that he's dead either, no more than the others. Thank you, Delphine. Hopefully this turns out to be useful. Well, it already is useful because it's evidence that more of the party have showed up somewhere in the works.
I'll keep looking.
Breton will also give her the three names, Elendor, Avalior, and Escanador, and just say, we also came across these three names. We're struggling to find the significance of them, but they might lead to something else. We think they might be people, old people.
Elendor is going to be hard to find information about, considering it's referenced all the time. It's
everywhere, yes.
But, it's new insight. Thinking of it less of a place, sometimes more of a person, could be helpful.
I always wondered, when did we start calling this plane Elendor? When did Elendor get its name?
As far as I know, after the Great Summit.
It was a reference. This is the time for Elendor.
It was...
It was
yeah.
the speech.
Part of the rebirth.
Yeah.
Before...
That's what I was thinking.
Before, the continent was one as well, and called Dostris, rather than Solomon and Longreach.
If you're searching for any reference to this, I would look at any references to Dostris before that.
I will do my best.
Maybe that'll be worth what we look into with that. Dostris.
Okay. So, are you going to head to the Zardom?
I think after a night's sleep is the idea, yeah.
Yeah. And my
I'd love
mother
to get a long
gave
rest.
us Oh, no, she gave us a teleportation sequence for Kensek. Did she?
I believe Ruby has a circle for the Zardom.
I do.
I think you also planned to ask while we were in Kensek, and it just completely slipped mind. But we have the sequence, so we're good.
Yep.
Because Kensek has traded with the Zardom under the sea for a really long time, was what we had learned.
That morning, Ruby is going to pull Breton aside. First off, I have mushroom steaks. You should try them. You'd like them. But so them in a vinaigrette. With a little bit of lime and thyme.
Alright.
I found Chloris.
Yeah. Figured you might have.
She's still kind of pissed. Not really in a talking mood, if you know my meaning.
We understood that was a very distinct possibility.
Soul's still working with her, though.
Soul is still kicking around.
Yeah. I kind of asked her to help her. I believe my wife is home. No, go ahead, sorry.
Do you think that's going to work?
No. Not in my lifetime, anyway. If there was a progress bar, Midge, about what percent was the healing factor done?
Fluctuating like 1%.
Yeah, not in my. Let's just call it not in my lifetime. At least not in the immediate short term. We need it today, and she will be done for another 75 years, so not exactly a survival prospect. Did learn some other interesting stuff, though. About the cult my dad was with, what he was trying to do, and what me and the other inheritors also kind of are doing.
There have been other individuals who have had Chloris' power like you?
Yes.
I take it not all of them have tried to use it for benevolent ends.
She will pull out a book and say, many of them didn't, but there was always one who did. And they took to writing their experiences down. A habit I have seemed to have been inclusive.
Inherited.
Yeah. Sorry I ran off like that. I needed to know.
And you couldn't wait.
No.
Are you done running? Is that it? Or do I have to worry that you're going to do this again?
I can't promise I won't, but I'm here now.
You know, marriage is based on teamwork. If you're going to do this stuff, we either need to do it together, or we don't do it at all.
Sorry, I didn't want to do 15 rounds with Valymr complaining about something.
I can understand you're upset with Valymr, but you took off on me.
You guys had things you needed to do.
And you would have been a real help there. By the way, the Kenseks, at least going back towards Valmyr's great-grandfather, have been implanting these creatures into humans and using them as for experiments. It doesn't seem like, at the moment, they were aware of what was going on. It seems like that ignorance was isolated. At least his uncle didn't seem to know more about it, but once all this sky business is said and done, I'm going back there to finish that little problem. It would be nice if I didn't have to do so by myself.
They were turning people into mind flayers?
As far as we can tell, they were trying to find more efficient ways to turn creatures that had natural resistance from mind flayers into mind flayers. They're trying to expand the capabilities of the, I think they call it Ceramorphosis.
Wow, I never thought I'd want to commit an extinction level event upon an entire family before.
As I said, it's something that his great-grandfather had done. His uncle seemed unaware about it.
Sorry.
It's something to look into. Because this is the sort of thing that I can't sit idly by and just watch happen.
Nor I. I'll be there. Did you burn the place down when you left? Not his keep, wherever you found them?
No, but it wasn't in great shape when we left it. That's not true. Some of it seemed like it may still have been working and intact, but like I said, I was prioritizing.
Yeah. Well, if we survive all of this, we'll go do that.
I understand that was important to you. But what I said, we will handle it in time. I meant it. That was a promise. That was not me just trying to push you off or trying to get you to keep on working for a little bit longer. That was my guarantee that we will handle it. You did not need to run off and do it on your own.
You don't have to hold my hand everywhere, you know. I'm not that little girl.
Hold your hand. You really think that's what this is about? The sky is spitting out demons at a rate that has never been seen before on this plane. The world is quite literally ending as we speak, and you think I was worried about holding your hand? Ruby, of all the people that are currently on this plane, who do you think has the best chance of saving it? Are they standing in this room right now?
I understand your anger. Don't you yell at me.
You're right. That's reserved for you. Breton's gonna take his ring off and throw it at her. We have a job to do.
And with that,
Yes, we do.
I think I'll end the session there. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. All I have left to do is to thank those who have been here. Thank you to DM Lick, to Lord Lambert, and to Bethany Rose. I've been Midgeman. This has been the Elendor Chronicles. And we'll come back next time. Bye-bye now.
No, mate.